Good evening. Welcome to Devour'e TV on this gorgeous radio, presented by Niketi Studios. Good evening, Miss Chemistry.
Hey, good evening, you guys. Welcome out there. I'm the co-host, Chemistry.
Let's get into this Iggy Azalea thing. Have you heard about that?
Nothing at all. What's going on with her now?
Well, she done did a photo shoot before, where her, I guess you can say, breast was exposed, and some people leaked the picture, and now she have a problem with that. I guess because the magazine said it wasn't gonna be leaked, but it wound up coming out.
Oh, okay. So, what's the situation? Didn't she already know the dotted lines and
Where she say
signatures
she's
on the contract? Because sometimes even though you do your pictures at the same time, they still have obligations and value over them pictures. That's the reason why you don't pay for those. Unless you pay for them, then you have obligations to get those. But if you ain't paying for those, are their pictures, and they can do it as they please unless you have a contract.
where she said she has a contract where the pictures wasn't supposed to be leaked, but they wind up being leaked, and it's getting a lot of exposure. And now she wants to sue over the pictures. But I would think you ain't really doing nothing right now. So isn't that good exposure right now? If you ain't, I don't think she's done nothing in like a year.
Well, basically, any exposure, bad or negative, good or positive, is always relevant when you're not relevant. No
Right.
disrespect.
Well, yeah, she definitely was saying she was surprised that the pictures weren't deleted. And I'm like, well, if a photographer takes the pictures, none of the pictures are actually.
So who
always
actually took her
deleted.
pictures? Like,
Um,
who was the photographer?
Where it doesn't mention the photographer, but it is with GQ magazine.
Oh, well, they kind of more classy. Yeah. Uppity photographer, magazine editor. So I'm kind of confused on that. Maybe she leaked it.
Right. I definitely wanted to get your opinion on that, Miss Model Star.
Because that don't sound right. Like, majority of them high name in magazines, they're going to be very prompt and stern on their photographs, on who they take pictures of. So for me, it kind of seemed a little airy, but again, things happen.
Right. Another thing that I wanted to touch on while we got the people's attention is about this new abortion law. Definitely in Alabama. Have you heard about that? Or?
To be honest, I mean, they've been passed a law about a couple of weeks ago, maybe 3-4 weeks ago, about that on that situation. Each his own. I believe on certain circumstances, those things may apply to certain people that need it. Rape, certain things may come out in that you may not want to keep it. But again, each his own. I do believe in the vacuum cleaner store, though. You know.
Well, they are trying to ban all abortions. So they saying even if you're raped, and things like that, like you must have
Exactly.
this child.
You're right. Exactly. They are saying that.
And me as a man, I totally disagree with that. Like, you mean to tell me somebody can be raped or crime can be committed against them, and they have to have a child? Like, that brings on
Stress, agony,
attitude,
everything.
hate towards the child, things like that. So I definitely think they should look into that.
Yeah,
more.
Congress and them need to go back and reevaluate that situation and have a sit down and see if they can, find a better outcome with that type of law, because it is kind of hard to even, balance the two. You never know what happens out here.
Right. Definitely. I mean, then another thing, even though I say if you should lay down if you can't take care of it, but sometimes it's financial reasons why people have abortions as well, and then they complain about how the government is taking care of these kids, but if y'all forcing them to have them, then ain't there more that you're gonna have to do?
Yeah. See, like I say, it's a real thin line, and honestly, just like how you throw people in jail, back then for people that were selling marijuana, Now it's legal. What you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? You done messed up a lot of people's careers. You know, it's a lot of things. I mean, each his own. The laws are there to be broken and to be governed. You know what I'm saying? So it depends on how you follow through.
Right. So about, I want to go back and touch on the Iggy Azalea thing, 'cause I know you've done like XXL magazine and things like that.
Yes.
So you as a model, I mean, as a model or artist, shouldn't you already know like when they don't use all your pictures, they still have a couple of those pictures?
Well, I come to any shoot with my little, what you call it, SD.
USB?
And we both have a contract to sign. You know, you sign mine and I sign yours. I'll make sure that I won't leak anything or publish anything, push anything out there on my Instagram, Facebook, and you make sure you don't leak what's coming out on here, because sometimes I may have to be nude to take a certain picture, to have a certain image, but that doesn't mean you want to show those nudes to the world. You know, so you gotta be careful, and you also gotta be comfortable with who you shoot with, and make sure you read the small, the black print. You know, don't get yourself caught up in something that you're not ready to fight through.
Okay, so I know you said about the USB. So if you sign their contract, they sign your contract, and still some pictures get leaked.
Yeah.
When y'all say they're not gonna be leaked, I kind of agree with you what you said. Like, either she had a conversation with the magazine, or she leaked the pictures herself and trying to act like she didn't. But what's your opinion on that?
Like I said, it can be a situation where she need to be relevant. It could be a situation where that somebody in the back, you know, just leaked it. It didn't even have to be the front, you know, the front auditor, editors, or people that was actually shooting. It could have been someone that actually had, you know, something. I don't know. I don't know, honestly. All I do know is you're supposed to cover yourself, cover your tracks. If you know you're doing certain things like that, you should expect the unexpected.
I just hope the people out there listening to you, because I know it's a lot of inspiring models who just running around taking pictures and things like that. So I hope they really paying attention to what you're saying about the contracts and getting copies of your picture on a USB. Because I actually know like quite a few that don't.
Yeah, you got to do a lot of things out here. And on top of that, let me let you also know, as far as inspiring models, published models, regular models, at the end of the day, when a photographer approaches you about modeling, 9 times out of 10, you can charge them. You know, because they're looking for some help, some publicity, something that's going to get them popping, basically. So for me, if someone comes to me like they want to shoot me, it depends on who you put out there, who's been published, what editor, you know, you can submit things to, so that I can know that I could charge you, or we can just do this on a basis okay thing. So you gotta know a lot of ins and outs, honestly, about this type of game. It will get tricky with you, and sometimes you will feel yourself fall back from a lot of things, which I have done, because this world got too plastic out here.
Yeah, I
And
know.
I ain't talking about the cards.
We know what you're talking about with that.
So,
And I know you were saying about if a photographer approaches you, but suppose you ain't really done nothing. Like, you've never really done nothing. You don't have a comp card. You don't have a bio. You don't have a portfolio. But this photographer, or like me, which I manage models, I see you and I'm like, she might be good with the modeling. So now I'm giving you an opportunity, because I think a lot of girls get caught up in that too. Like, oh, well, how much you paying me?
yeah,
Like,
see,
what?
you can't do that, especially when you're trying to get yourself out there. One thing you're supposed to do, and you're supposed to invest in yourself. If you don't invest in yourself, why should someone else? That's how I look at that. Now, between you and I, you know, I'm gonna pay for what I believe. I'm gonna pay for my look. I'm gonna pay if I need to get my lace done. I need to pay for my nail. I'm gonna pay for my whatever it is to take it, the picture to look the most best, honestly. But a lot of people just want to take pictures and and put their ass out there. I mean, it's cool if you got an ass type of body, but sometimes a face would do and make a person feel more attracted to you on a better level.
Funny you said that. I was just telling somebody that on my last shoot, like you sexy, you have an ass, but guess what? If you know how to sell that sexy in the face, that's gonna attract more. It's gonna kind of like take away from people really looking at your body. Your body might be exposed, but they're gonna be like, dang, her look.
The smile, you gotta know how to do all that when you're modeling your face, certain looks, certain eye glances. I mean, it takes a lot. But definitely, it's really up to you on how you do things, honestly. I can't really say too much on how that Izzy Azalea thing went, but hopefully things will be overcome and things will be good.
Well, I know we got a special guest at Sugar Shash.
She's in the building?
Yeah, she's in the building. She definitely does the infused cupcakes and things like that. So I definitely would want to catch her opinions on some of this, as well as a business owner and things like that.
That's
so Sugar Shash is coming up in a few minutes.
Awesome.
What up, Stroker? Motherfucking Moon Rock King. DJ Stroker Fresh, we about to eat this one up. 10 in the morning today. He's a prince! Woo.
I be early in the morning making hits.
Early in the morning.
Gotta get the bacon whipping grits.
Whipping grits,
Talking like he really with the shit.
with the shit, no.
You ain't out here really making
Ain't
flips.
making flips now.
Lying through your teeth, son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch.
Fucking with the team gon' get you hit.
Don't get you hit.
This ain't no cat, bitch, no.
Cat, no bitch.
Handle all my business. I won't leave no witness. Why be young, rich, fuck around and take your kidney. Better watch what you say, dog. You ain't with it. No, I'm from Detroit City, nigga. Keep it pimpin'. All these white peoples round this bitch. Get the lynching. Don't make me come up out this damn shirt. Stop flinching. Beat his ass down to the dirt. Tony Harrison. Better think twice before you step to a veteran. Rip the flesh right off his motherfucking skeleton. I be early in the morning making hits.
Early in the morning.
Gotta get the bacon whipping grits.
Whipping grits,
Talking like he really with the shit.
with the shit, no.
You ain't out here really making flips.
Ain't making flips.
I be early in the morning making hits.
Early in the morning.
Gotta get the bacon whipping grits.
Whipping grits,
Talking like he really with the shit.
with the shit, no.
You ain't out here really making flips.
Hey,
Hello,
welcome
Miss
back.
D at Sugar Shash. Glad to have you on the show.
Nice to be here.
Now let's let the people know first where you from.
I'm originally from Tennessee, but I relocated here about 10 years
Talk,
ago.
talk up a little bit for me.
I relocated here 10 years ago.
Tennessee. Yeah, that's the home of Young Buck. What's up?
So how have you liked it being here so far?
It's different. It's really different. I'm from Memphis, so it's kind of like similar to DC, but a little bit different as far as the way they live.
Everything
is a little
is
different.
fast.
Yeah,
It's
it's
fast.
faster here. So it's like the best of both worlds. I go back home a lot,
That's
so
good.
I enjoy both.
You have family here?
Yes, my dad is here, and he's married. I have 2 younger siblings here.
Okay.
So I got a nice amount of family here.
Cool, cool. So quick question. So where can we find you on Instagram?
On Instagram as sugar_sass_D on Instagram, and I also am getting my website together, so my website will be coming soon.
Awesome.
So you can order straight from the website. That should be up by the end of the week. So
What are we gonna order? It looked like you got some goodies over here.
yeah, I bring y'all something to try. This is strawberry margarita and a regular margarita. Lemon infused, and the other is infused with Patron, but it's a strawberry cake base with lemon zest and lemon.
Awesome. I like
so,
that.
So what made you get into baking?
I've been baking for a while. It's just always something I had a passion of doing. Growing up in Tennessee in the South, my grandmother's always in the kitchen baking. So she was like, you want to eat, you're going to have to learn
How to
how,
cook.
learn how to cook. So it's a passion of mine, and I turned it into a business about last year. I've only been in business for about a year. But it's just something I love to do.
Okay. What's your favorite thing to bake?
Cupcakes.
Cupcake.
My favorite is the strawberry honey. A lot of people order strawberry honey.
Okay.
Kiss My Peach is one of my other popular ones. I started out doing it with peach Ciroc, but they got the Crown Royal Peach now, so I do both, either or, whichever one you prefer. So those are my 2 top sellers, but I dibble and dabble in a lot of stuff.
Did you go to school for it?
Yes, I did go to culinary school.
Awesome.
So I have my business license, insurance, all that's good. You gotta have all that. The
You
business
really do.
side is very important.
Right, correct
and
about
it's a
that.
lot, so you gotta make sure you got all that together.
Okay. So what's the most challenging thing as far as baking?
Not really a challenge as far as the baking, because I try so much stuff, and some stuff is really trial and error. It's like, you have your basis of what you want to do, but sometimes it's like, hit or miss. You just gotta keep practicing and perfecting your craft until you pick up on, what your strong suits are.
Okay.
Sounds good. Sounds good. So, have you did any special events like weddings or anything? Kids?
I did 2 bridal showers last weekend, actually. And then today, I actually did Girl Bosses of DC. They had an event for
heard of them.
entrepreneurs in the DMV area. I was a vendor, so that was my first vending event.
Okay.
Got a lot of clients from it, so I'm looking to do more. If anybody, looking for vendors,
Okay.
hit me up.
Awesome. Can I see your business card?
Sure.
So would you do all types of events as far as like, I know it's, especially here in the DMV, is parties, is weddings, is exclusive things. So
Yeah, I'm open to all events. I've done graduation parties, I've done bridal showers, baby showers. Did a baby shower last weekend. So I'm open to anything.
So do your work have you traveling, or is just in this area so far?
So far just in this area. When I go home, I do promotions when I'm back home in Tennessee, and I get a lot of orders there.
Good.
My mom is really good at promoting me, so
Shout out, mom.
yeah. So I get a lot between DMV area and Tennessee when I go back home. So
Okay, well, hopefully you get some more. We got a worldwide looking at you right now, so.
yes, yes.
Seems like you don't get a lot of time to rest.
No, pretty busy. I stay pretty busy.
Okay.
And so, like, your biggest project, is it more like a solo thing, or do you actually get help when you're inside the kitchen?
Solo. All solo.
Really?
Yeah.
You just don't trust no one, or is it more,
It's more right now. I'm still
comfortable
in
thing
the
for you?
in the baby phase, so it's like if my baby, you take care
More
of
comfortable
it.
by
Yeah,
yourself.
More comfortable with me. So
I
I mean,
understand.
eventually, I think I'll get there, but right now it's just me.
Okay.
Okay, well, I'm somebody that like banana pudding, so you knew I was gonna touch on that, right?
I
So,
knew you was gonna hit that. But I mean, I do custom orders as well. I mean, I have a set menu, but I'm open to custom orders. Just try to give at least 48 hours notice. But I'm open to custom orders.
Do you even ice cream cupcakes, stuff like that?
I do cheesecake cupcakes.
Okay.
Haven't tried the ice cream yet, but I do cheesecake and stuff like that. So.
Okay. Sounds fun. So how long does it take for you to actually get your dish together?
It depends on what
Size
I'm
of the
doing,
event?
because I do cupcake cakes too.
Okay.
So cupcake cakes normally about an hour 30.
Any
cakes-
special ingredients you use that you like to tell the audience?
I got a couple. Almond extract.
Okay.
Can't really
don't
taste
tell
it,
them.
but,
Don't tell them everything. Just give them
Oh
one.
no,
That was it.
Almond extract is my biggest one though. Like,
You put it in there a lot.
yeah,
It's good.
it's turn up the flavor and a lot of stuff.
It
You'd be
re-
surprised.
It really does.
So what do you plan on doing with your business as far as future goals and?
My future goals is to have a storefront.
Nice.
Like, I'm
Okay.
really pushing for a storefront. I actually just applied for a business license to sell out of a physical location.
Okay.
So I'm looking, hopefully by the beginning of next year, to have a storefront.
Nice.
So,
That's
and
a
it's
good
the
look.
summertime, so business has been really good to me so far. So.
And hopefully you
Cause
can keep
college,
it going.
graduates, like I said, it's some of everything. I've been touching on a lot of stuff. So
That's a
far.
blessing. That's a good thing.
Yes.
You definitely done been moving kind of quick, like out of nowhere. You know, what I mean, I've been knowing you for a while. Know out of nowhere, you were baking, and now you like getting all these orders. I'm like, man, when was I gonna find out that you was baking?
Yeah, it was kind of, honestly, it was just, I just decided to bet on myself. Like, I have been doing it for a while, just kind of friends here and there, just something that I like to do. But when I really realized that I could turn it into a business, everything kept coming up, and it was like, this might not be the right time. And so I just really sat down and just was like, either you gonna do it or you not. So I had to bet on myself and, walk by faith really, because I was waiting for the right time. And honestly, sometimes if you wait for the right time, it'll never be the right time. You just really gotta take that leap of faith and do what you feel is in your best interest.
Okay.
Honestly, you're telling the truth right there.
Yes.
If you wait forever.
Yeah, you'll be waiting forever, so you just gotta, put yourself out there and do it.
So what type of, go ahead.
Now I got a question for you because I also know you have a son, and I'm quite sure you
That's what I
might
asked
know
you.
some of the things we were discussing before. So let's get your point on how you feel about the whole abortion thing.
Ooh, that might be a whole nother segment. It's a lot. I feel like, personally, as a woman, to each his own. Everybody has different situations and circumstances. But I also feel like politics shouldn't have control over women.
The human body, period.
The human body, right? The human body, period. And a lot of these laws that are being passed in a lot of these states, like Alabama and Texas and all these other places, it's like even if people are getting raped, they can't do nothing about it. So you're creating a whole nother monster ultimately because these people go through depression, they go through resentment, then they talking about getting people off of social services and welfare and all this other stuff. I mean, you pushing them more and more to that direction by having to, deal with those type of situations.
Absolutely right. Sad, actually.
Yeah, very sad. I mean, because everybody's situation is not the same.
So on your off days, what do you do? Do you read books? Do you read into the politics, or?
On my off days, I'm still busy. To be honest, I'm ripping and running with my son, or looking for different events to go to.
How old is he?
4.
Oh, baby,
going
4.
On 40. That's my old man. But really just spending time with him. If I'm not spending time with him, I'm looking for different events to network and grow my business. So I'm always doing something.
Is he helping you in the kitchen?
He tried. He tried.
Would you be like, get out?
Yeah, he tried. He get a little fast for me.
So how do you deal with running a business and having a child and doing whatever you need to do on the side of that?
Ooh, it's a lot, but I try to stay organized and try to set things up. My calendar, I'm a big person on organization and calendars.
I need you in my life then, because
so it's like I do my calendar beginning of the month. His events, my events, orders, everything like that. I just try to put it out there.
So your son has events too?
Yes. He's Mr. All-American. He wants to play soccer and football and swim. And
keep him active. That's good. Keep him active. That's a good thing.
Very active. So he does a lot. He keep me running. So in between him and my business is pretty much, networking. I little social every now and then, but I'm not a big party person. Okay. I'm a little boring.
So when you're in your car, what you dancing to?
Oh, I'm still stuck on 90s, 80s R&B.
There we go.
Like,
there you go.
So I'm listening to all the old school stuff, Jodeci,
Oh yeah, you trying to make another baby.
That's like early 90s.
No, one and done.
That's what they say.
Yeah, he's 4 though. That's starting all over.
My son's 17.
That's starting all over though.
As long as you ain't going through menopause, it's always a chance.
Oh, it's always a chance, but he bossy. He don't want no more.
We'll see, but
So he don't want no little brother, little
Oh no,
sister?
no. He the man. He know he the man, and that's all.
Is that him or is that you?
Oh no, that's him. That's strictly him. He don't want no more.
That's funny.
He's very jealous, very territorial. His
Sheesh.
little cousins can't catch a break.
Okay, so I did notice you say about you writing your calendar and you plan out and things like that. Now I'm also a business owner, so I gotta ask because like I'm not a person that like to write. It's like the more I write, the more I forget. I'm like a person that like to keep everything in my head. So for people like me who don't really get into the writing, how would you like express that for them to pay attention to their writings? Because I can post something right now on the wall for the next week, but when that's coming up, I'm gonna forget where I wrote it.
Your phone. I tell a lot of people, like, it's so technology based now. Your phone. I have apps on my phone that are calendars. I have stuff linked to my email to my calendar. It'll pop up like the day before, a couple days. It pops up to remind you or whatever. So I have both. Like for me, I like to write mine down so I can physically see and be aware. But I also have it on my phone too, because you know you get busy, you have things that you do. Everybody, you know, things slip through the cracks. But if you're not a, you know, get a planner, organizer type thing, your phone. You always got your phone.
Okay. Also, let's touch on for any of our people that's been thinking about baking and things like that. Um, what would you say is the most important thing for them to start doing first?
On the business side or baking? Cause it's,
Business side and baking.
okay, business side, before you decide to officially just launch your business, go and get all your license and your business permits, your insurance. That's a must.
Okay, right.
Because Maryland do not play. Taxes, comptroller, all of that. You go down to circuit court, apply for your business license, get your name trademark, get your LLC, all of that good stuff, before you really start pushing your business. Because you don't want to run into a situation where you're running a business and you don't have those licenses and stuff, because once you get out, right, you will get audited.
Yes, you will.
And if you're out, you know, vending at an event and somebody just so happen to come up to you and ask you for certain things and you don't have it,
That's a liability.
that's liability for, you know, the people that you vending for. So you have to be on top of those things on the business side of it. The baking side, I say patience, really.
Okay.
Because everything's not always going to turn out, you know, the same. You could do a recipe a million times in one day. It just
Different.
don't come out right for whatever reason. It could be the oven, it could be your ingredients, whatever it may be. But just be patient and make sure you allot your time with baking. I learned early on as far as taking orders. I was taking orders left and right, but I wasn't managing my time to where I'm like, okay, well, it take me 30 minutes to do this, and then they want them in an hour. You rushing, and then you got poor product, and you never want to put anything out there that's, you know, substandard, because your product is a representation of you.
I understand.
So you always want to make sure that your time management is spot on, because that's a big thing as far as baking.
Cooking period too, though. Cooking.
Yeah, cooking in general.
Yeah,
like, you know.
you can burn the bacon and don't even know it.
Right. Run to the bathroom or something, and then the whole house smoking. Like, yeah, time management is the key with anything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, right now we're going to go into a little break with this video from Purge J on Devour'e TV, and we'll be right back.
Now it's summer rain. Now it's summer rain. Big slow with the alley. Hit a spring lake, now it's summer rain. Got so many hoes, don't know which one to win. Cold hearted from that ice that I'm covered in. Thank you, lucky, roll the dice, see what your number is. Money on my mind, bitches on my dick. 5 bitches pulled up in a Hummer whip. 5 bitches one of it. And you could get the money from your block if you pumping it. Shut it so lit, can't finish sentences. All these blues in my pocket, I invented cream. And you can't know the sense if you got common sense. You should know the bitch if that's your property. Get 100% up off this sloppy neck. Cash, yeah, yeah, that's my money, yeah. You been tricking for me about 2 summers in. Used to acting dumb like you don't understand. Heat up like the number said. If you ain't gon' slide the slopes, don't be outside with us. Yeah, number 6. If you ain't gon' slide the slopes, don't be outside with us. Drugs on my mind, didn't wanna sell. Hoes on my line, tryna find a pill. You can try to cross me. I'll be back for that ass like I'm on Schwarzenegger. Snipe you too long, think I need to go. Money on my mind, and I need to do. If you ain't gon' slide the slopes, don't be outside with us. If you ain't gon' slide the slopes, don't be outside with us.
So welcome back to Devour'e TV on this gorgeous radio. Here we're at Sugar Sass and my beautiful host, Chemistry the Porcelain Doll.
Good evening.
At Miss Sass, what words of encouragement would you give other women for building their brains and pursuing their dreams?
My words of encouragement is just don't look to the next person for validation. I feel like a lot of women look for the next person and say, oh, well, she doing this, they ain't trying to do that. It's room for everybody to eat. And that's what I try to tell people. I have a lot of friends that are entrepreneurs, makeup, hair, baking, whatever. But, you know, like Brianna, she got, you know, her makeup line or whatever. Who is that? Kylie, she got hers. If they was like, oh, well, I ain't doing it because Rihanna got it, like, where would they be? It's room for everybody to eat. You just got to follow your dream. If that's your passion and that's what you want to do, stick to it and do you. Because
Listen, ladies.
you have other women, I've had other women that are bakers. There are certain things that they couldn't do that they call me, hey, you know, I got a client that wants this or whatever, or vice versa. I've had to call a couple other, you know, bakers and say, hey, I got a lady that wants this. I can't do it. Can you do it? So it's just about being open and, you know, just trusting your instinct and following you and just prosper, give a hand to somebody else, help somebody else grow, and just be a source of encouragement for everybody else, because you might not know, you might be the determining factor in between, you know, your next big come up. I'm not saying that you're doing it to look for a come up, but give back. Like, once you get to a place where you feel like you've established your brain and your business, help somebody else that's in the process of trying to get theirs.
Exactly. Feed knowledge. Feed knowledge.
Yes, definitely.
So do you feel that your marketing plan is working, or are you still trying to work out your niche as far as your marketing plan?
Basically, is it more like when you're marketing, are you out hand by hand flyers? Are you more internet bound when you're doing this?
I started more internet bound, but I found that I gained more clientele and more customers
Face
by
to face.
actually going out and
Hands-on.
face-to-face interaction
Exactly.
and things like that. That's why I've started to look into more of the networking events and being vendors at people's events, because they want to have that face-to-face interaction with you. I mean, social media is so prevalent, but it only gets you so far. So you still have to do that legwork and be present and, you know, shake a hand, pass out cards, flyers, whatever you need to do to kind of boost, you know.
With the product, with the faces, you know, and that's how it is.
Yeah.
I understand.
So as far as for someone like me that's changing their eating habits and trying to eat healthy, do you make cupcakes for like people like myself?
Sugar free?
I'm actually getting into the gluten free. I've done about 2 orders a day. Interesting, but it still tastes good.
Rewind. You said interesting. Let's go back.
Interesting in meaning not in a bad way. Interesting meaning like they still taste good.
Awesome.
Like, cause
okay.
I always had the stereotype that gluten was like gluten free was nasty.
Okay.
But it tastes similar. Like, it's not
A big difference.
in the flavor
Okay.
when it comes to like the gluten free.
So it's really not A big taste different.
No.
But calories wise,
Oh, it's a difference calorie wise. But taste wise, it's not a huge difference.
okay.
Okay. So you said you just getting into that. So how you feel about like I guess can I say like that form of baking? Like you think that's something you would look into more of doing or
I'm looking more into doing it. I'm not gonna completely go gluten free, but I do feel like you have to, you know, step into other arenas to be able to accommodate, you know, certain customers. And a lot of people are going, you know, gluten free and vegan and stuff like that. So you kind of have to keep up with the times and the flow, and you have to, you know, learn those things so you can be more marketable. It's another way of being
Yeah,
marketable
more relevant.
to, you know, to your customers
Mm-hmm.
because, you know, we get more and more gluten-free restaurants, vegan restaurants, so you gotta keep up with the times. So I'm definitely, you know, working on honing those areas to be more available to customers.
okay. Now you touched on vegan. And I never really heard of like no cupcakes, no cakes, and none of that.
It actually is. And
Really?
I really didn't have it, but yeah, I was Googling it one day. Um, talked to you one day, actually. And I was Googling it. Actually, it's like vegan cupcakes and stuff.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I
I'm
haven't
not.
tried them yet.
I'm not knocking
so I'll
it.
let y'all know how that
Yeah,
goes.
go ahead,
Okay.
try that. Let
Try
me
it
know.
first and let me know.
Right, I haven't got it yet.
I love
but once I try
cupcakes.
it, I definitely let y'all know. But it is. It's vegan cupcakes. It's just about vegan everything from what I was researching.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
they can make anything vegan these days.
Okay, so we was on break and we was touching on this topic about, you know, back in the days how we basically was taught by our grandparents not to like when you baking, don't be running in, you know, running in her and out of her kitchen or you gonna flatten them. Now is that true?
That is true.
My mother used to whip my tail and I didn't understand why,
Oh yeah,
but okay.
that is true. It's very true. Because the cake is supposed to rise, so when you have that movement, because in the oven it's still,
Exactly.
you know,
So.
it's still, but you get them moving around and you running in the kitchen, the cakes will go flat. I mean, they still might taste good, but you know, you get in trouble, that cake go
Yeah,
flat.
I'm trying to say it was horrible. I never understood until I got older. Like, so
It will
Man,
flatten out.
that's a little crazy to me. That's like
You never heard
a
that
cake
before?
having. I've heard that, but that's
Okay.
like a cake having senses or something. Like, oh, she moving, so.
Cause
I
but
ain't
why
gonna-
don't biscuits do it? You know? Cause when I be running in
They
the kitchen,
can.
oh they can't. I
They can,
haven't
especially
done
like
it.
the homemade ones. They
no,
definitely
man.
can.
So, what's your ambition about your brain or your motivation?
My motivation really is to, if I'm being completely honest, like it's a passion of mine, no doubt, but it's another source of income
Yeah.
for me. I'm a medical assistant, and I also I'm helping or assisting with a women's empowerment group that I just started with one of my coworkers. So
Don't be going out there getting locked up now. I ain't got time to be protesting. And
Oh no! This is like a
Okay.
women empowerment, like you know, networking and
Got
like,
you,
know,
okay.
that type of thing. We ain't in the streets, you know.
Yeah, I don't need you with them big
all
old
of
posters
that.
in front of the White House
Oh,
talking
no, I
about
can't-
empowering us.
I can't get locked up. I can't get locked up. Got this boy at home, but it was another source of income for me, along with being my passion, and it's like I feel like living in this area because, like I said, I come from Tennessee, so it's a complete difference on the financial tip. Cost of
Communication
living is so
much higher.
much higher here.
Mhm.
So it's like, I make decent money as a medical assistant. I'm actually in the fall be going back to school for nursing.
Okay, congratulations
But,
on that.
Yeah, but I needed another source of income, honestly, because I'm a traveler. I love to travel.
Yeah.
Take my trips. My son loves to be on the go. Sports are not cheap, so
You're right about that.
it definitely was. That was my motivation to be able to have that extra income, to where I could have a business that would sustain other things, and I wouldn't have to be, living quote unquote check to check. Like a lot of people in this area are, because cost of living is crazy.
See, people don't realize that as well. These times and era, these days, basically, you have to have more than just one income. So you gotta at least try at least 3 to make it out here. I'm not.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Back then we used to joke about it and be saying, "Oh, we working like a Jamaican, working like an African. You have like 4 or 5 jobs. No discrimination because they work hard."
You definitely do, and I feel like honestly, for our for our generation, do something that you love to do. I mean, because I found this thing on Instagram one day. It was like your 9 to 5 should support your dream. Your dream should support, your extracurriculars, and then you should also invest in property.
Exactly.
And it was like you invest in property, you use your, your dream,
your equity,
your entrepreneur to invest in those property, and then you have 3 sources of income. They're working off each other, and you basically. Their money's stacking up.
Sound good.
You able to live the life that you want to live, not worried about, living check to check. So that's where I'm trying to go with it. And to me, ultimately, is to leave something behind for my son. Because I feel like in the Black society, we don't leave a lot behind for our children.
We sure don't. No land or nothing.
Yeah.
But I mean, from these questions, I'm hearing somebody grown. Because I remember somebody used to tell me I be doing too much. But now she talking about 4 or 5 jobs. So what made you come to that conclusion now?
Growing, just growing, and becoming a parent. Really, you have to be able to sustain. Kids not cheap. School not cheap. Like my son's in private school, so it's like it's a lot. And then, like I said, I always wanted to leave something behind for not only myself but my family, for my parents, and something that I could build to where he would have a stepping stone.
Exactly.
Okay, so with Father's Day coming up, do you have anything planned? Any discount cupcakes?
I do. I haven't got all of the promotions set just yet, but I am doing a Father's Day box. It's going to be 6 cupcakes, brownies, and infused strawberries. And it's a box. It's $50. But I also I've started doing smaller portions, so if you don't want like a whole dozen, I do half a dozen, I do 4. So just, everybody don't want a dozen cupcakes. I mean,
With the infused, we do.
Well, we definitely can get you there and get you that. But I try to be to accommodate everybody. But Father's Day, I'm looking at doing a lot. Because Father's Day I feel is such a underappreciated
There you
holiday.
go. Exactly. It really is, considering the fact.
Underappreciated holiday. So I'm really trying to push that big. Because we always celebrate Mother's Day. Everybody go all out for Mother's Day. But I feel like fathers should be recognized as well. So I'm definitely looking to do.
Believe it or not, these days there's a lot of fathers out there that step up more than women I've seen.
Yes, that's a lot of fathers.
It's
I was raised by my father, so I feel like Black men are very important.
Shout out to the real dads.
I was raised by grandma in them kitchens. Don't run in them. Shout out to those.
Yeah. I mean, grandma helped too, but my dad pretty much raised me from 8 on up till now. So I feel like
is he in the
men are
military?
very important. No, he's actually a PG County police officer.
Oh, okay. Shout out to PG County.
Yeah. So very, very important, very instrumental in my life. He pushed me, like,
that's what a father's supposed to do.
Totally
Different
than being raised by a woman, and I feel like I was blessed in that aspect because it made me tougher. It made me a lot tougher, but it also
mentally.
It also just mentally made me so much more aware.
Yeah, exactly.
Of life and just men in general, because my father's straight shooter, so
literally
growing up dealing with guys or whatever, like he know best. You know, he a man. Who better to tell me about a man
Yeah, man.
than him? And you know, with my son.
Is he good in the kitchen?
Oh yes.
Okay.
Great in the kitchen, but he's more so of the cooker and griller. Like, he grills. We from the country, so
Exactly.
like,
I got you.
we
I
grill
got
all
you.
the time. Like we do ribs, brisket, all of it. Like that's my main. And then he's an entrepreneur himself. Like you know, he does t-shirts, and he also does photography.
So for this Saturday coming up, we're gonna do that. Be down Deja Vu. We're gonna be down Deja Vu this Saturday coming up in the morning.
Yeah, definitely. I was about to touch on that,
'Cause,
especially with that women empowerment group she got.
yeah, you can bring that down there.
I definitely.
You know, from 11 to 4, we be down
And
Deja Vu.
also-
down the lounge.
Okay.
Oh, also, you saying you being raised by your father. Is there any things you teach your son about respecting women?
Oh, definitely. I feel like you got to start early this day and age because there's so much going on in our world now. He's very respectful, and I feel like with my father being a big presence in my life and his life, he's seen firsthand how to treat a woman. You know, my father's married, been married for 15 years. The anniversary was actually yesterday.
Okay. Congratulations, happy anniversary.
He's always grown up around love, and he knows, you know, the respect of women and how men are being treated. Because I mean, you can tell your kids all the time. It's more so what they see. So if they see, you know, okay, my dad, you know, he respect my mom. He, you know, he treat her right, or vice versa. You know, they're more likely to absorb that and
Carry
go
that
forward
on.
with that, carry that on with them as they get older. So I feel like
It's a blessing.
great thing. Yeah, it's a
Well,
blessing.
what I want to say about that, wait till he get older and see the real. Because it's definitely things that my mother told me, and I look at her now and be like, what? That ain't
Because
how all
times
these women should be treated like
change,
they.
but even though times change, that doesn't mean you have to with your morals and values. Especially when it comes back from, you know, from our great grandparents or our parents, because that's the real life for real. You see how even though, you know, the grandfathers or the fathers may do what they do, they was always home.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't bring it home. You know, my grandmother and them, they made sure the house was a home. You know, with all the grandkids, you know, it was always a bunch of kids in the house, you know. So it just seems like if we can keep those old morals into play, a lot of disrespect will be very low. If we could bring spankings back, you can say spankings, get your ass whooped.
Yep,
you
trying to
know.
go to jail.
Well, you know, I just feel like at the end of the day, yeah, exactly. And it's certain levels. The first thing to do is not hit them. I mean, you got certain levels, but that doesn't mean that I'm gonna take it to them certain levels. If, you know, sometimes talking is not for talking.
And every kid is different.
Exactly.
Like,
So
you know,
you gotta learn.
you know, I get a little, you know, bass in my voice, and he's like, all right, let me chill out. But I mean, every kid is not the same. And for me, I mean, my parenting style, I'm more so. I talk to my son. I allow my son to express his feelings. Like, you know, if he upset, okay, well, why you mad? What's wrong? Because I feel like in the black community, it's more so. I was raised, children are to be seen and not heard.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's not necessarily that day and age anymore. It's like you have to listen to your kids. Like, how do you know what's going on with these kids if you're not allowing them to express themselves to talk? Now, I'm not saying be disrespectful with it.
Yeah.
But, you know, allow them that voice to tell you and let you know what's going on and how they feeling.
Okay. I definitely would want to keep this conversation going, but this the end of the show right here. So again, I'm gonna tell everybody, welcome to Devour'e TV. Welcome to Devour'e TV, broadcasted on It's Gorgeous Radio, through Niketi Studios, and also Miss D. Let's let the people know your Instagram where they can follow you and find you at.
I'm
Again.
on Instagram at D is sugar_SASSD on Instagram.
Awesome. Anywhere else? Facebook, Twitter?
I have a Facebook too, and the Facebook is just Sugar and Sass on Facebook. But like I said, be on the lookout for the website. It's coming very soon, and I will keep everyone updated.
Okay. And again, this is Devour'e TV on this gorgeous radio through Niketi TV. Thank y'all for paying attention.
I'm your host, co-host, Chemistry. Y'all have a good one.